Alright, so a little bit of skipping ahead, not too much though, because I think the next scene after that map we just finished was the drinking contest. And this is the last time we see the old man show up. So I'm just doing the stuff with the old man, and then we're going to skip ahead from there. We're not doing the drinking contest again, so don't panic. But as a farewell to the old man side of Ash, we'll do this one little scene.
How about a drinking contest?
Was he there the whole time? It was the old man who used to be a peddler. He seemed to be at the tavern often. Like someone else I know. He got off his chair at the counter and walked over.
Or was it an unnecessary suggestion?
Not at all. His sudden appearance surprised me, but even more so was that there was something about him that my eyes were drawn to. I didn't notice it before, but he had a large birthmark on the back of his right hand. It looked like it was in the shape of a flower. Where have I seen this before? Maybe it's a clematis flower? My mind wandered off briefly.
What say you?
You've got to be joking! A drinking contest is vulgar! How dare you try to make brother do that?
I thought that a stupid contest would be best to stop a stupid fight.
If you don't want your precious brother to do it, you can.
I don't want to! Why should I?
I don't mind. It sounds fun. If you want to turn tail and run, I won't stop you.
We have no tails! We're not like you dogs!
Jed, you're doing this too, right?
But alcohol? I had never had it before. It was completely unknown territory to me.
I see. Well, in that case, this place serves a nice cup of specialty juice. How about placing your wager on that?
Bet off of juice? I didn't know they served juice here.
Oh, you mean that? Let me get it ready. Huh? Why do you look so happy?
You seem to know your way around things. Not at all.
So what do you want to do?
Okay. And I think after that, the old man's just like, peace, I'm gone. So I'm going to skip ahead and I will bring you back in when one of Ash's alter egos pops in, I guess. Okay, we are now a couple of maps later, and there are no episodes with Hugh here, so all I'm bringing you in for is the interview question for the young man. There were no interview questions the last map. So what's your one wish, Hugh?
If I can have any wish granted, can I wish for more wishes? That's not fair. You're the one that said I could wish for anything. If I can't do that, I'll defer this right to someone else. I'm sure that would make the story much more interesting.
Alright, he defers. He has so many wishes that he can't pick one, so he has to defer to someone else. Alright, fair enough, my dude. I am moving on again. I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, it was literally a little bit. There was one brief little scene at the tower, and then we went to a map again. So, yeah. Anyway, once again, just an interview question, no short episodes. What's it this time? Oh yes, if spring comes to this town, are you moving on when that happens?
Well, what should we do? Let's write a new story while we're at it. Spring arriving to this town is but one of the endings to the story.
Yes. But is it in your ending, Hugh? Or is it another ending? Curious minds want to know. Alright, off I go again. I'll bring you guys in probably soon. This is either the last map or there's one more map. And it's shortly after that that the whole Kaleidovia thing is given to Jed from Hugh, so yeah. Something's gonna happen soon. See you in a bit. Alright, my memory did actually... I was gonna say not fail me? I guess it did not fail me. It was correct in its memory. I'm still not finding the right word that I want, but whatever. Suffice it to say, I remembered correctly that it was the last map, and now we're getting the Kaleidovia stuff. So, hey. Might as well just start from here, because we get some Hugh stuff. And I forgot that we see the old man one more time, because I was skipping along and I'm like, oh gosh, it's the old man! Abort! So, alright. One more time with the old man, and then we say goodbye to him, and it's Hugh time. So, here we go. The wolves and the hawks not only stopped fighting, but they had begun to cooperate with each other. Thanks to that, the preparations for the masquerade were progressing smoothly. I felt it would be the liveliest masquerade in many years. I sat at the counter in the tavern and heard people talking about it. Everyone was looking forward to the masquerade. It was all the more reason for me to feel the pressure. I still hadn't found any clues on the whereabouts of the Kaleidovia. It was making me feel depressed.
Being that I'm the one making the request, it's difficult for me to say this, but things aren't shaping up as expected.
Isn't it because you keep getting yourself involved with random stuff? Even if you don't find it, it's got nothing to do with me.
Elric calling us out for spending our time just doing random interview questions and short episodes. You know, if you weren't spending so much time chasing guys around, maybe you'd get some work done. I mean, he's right. The two voices that knew of the situation come to mind. I wasn't exactly slacking off, but I still needed to find it as soon as possible. I'm a handyman, not a detective. It could have been an impossible task to begin with. Making excuses wouldn't help the situation, though. All I can do in that moment was sit at the tavern counter and heave a sigh.
You seem to be in trouble.
Huh? Whoa! I didn't notice that someone had sat down next to me.
Oh, excuse me. Did I surprise you?
Not at all. You're... It's the old peddler. As always, his face looked so much younger than he actually was. And because he sat to my left this time, I could clearly see the clematis-shaped birthmark on the back of his right hand. I'm sorry. I didn't notice you at all.
Don't worry about it. It looked like something was bothering you.
I couldn't explain it, but when I talked to this old man, he was mysterious, and he wasn't direct about his intentions.
I've heard through the grapevine that you're asking around about the Kaleidovia.
Yes. I'm interested in it. Do you know something about it?
Well, when you get to my age, it's all about the sentimental value.
Please tell me about it. It can be anything at all.
I don't mind. It's nice to see the younger generation be interested in it. But there is one thing I'd like to ask you first.
What is it?
Do you want to know about the Kaleidovia purely out of interest?
Of course. The old man's eyes suddenly became sharp. I lied in the moment, but... No, he must have seen through my lie already.
Very well. Then whether you want to know more is up to you. This will take a while, but please bear with me. Think of it as killing time with this old man.
Thank goodness. If he refused, I would have lost my only lead. Just talking to him probably wouldn't lead me to it, but right now I needed any clue I could get.
First, do you know what the Kaleidovia is?
It's the symbol of peace of the clans of the Wolf and the Hawk joining together? I was repeating what Lawrence said. At least that's what I thought he said.
If you change the way you look at it, you could say that.
It isn't?
It would be more accurate to call it a symbol of war.
Of war?
The hawks and wolves are bound to its sins, with how the Kaleidovir's jewels were removed by both clans. That thing reminds the townspeople of bitter memories. That is why it is stored at the church away from all eyes. If the church holds on to it, neither of the clans will take it, thereby keeping the peace of the town.
That was different from what I heard. It was true that you could take it as a symbol of peace, but this meaning was the complete opposite. Why would there be a need to put that out for show? The old man squinted.
Because now is the time of the choice.
Huh?
I don't exactly know the details.
He felt like a completely different person. Was that just my imagination? No.
This is just hearsay, but the Kaleidovir is not a mere symbolic decoration. It has another use.
And what is that use?
Beats me. Something may happen. However, it has been used twice in this town in the past. That is what I heard.
What does that mean?
I know I'm saying many things, but it may all be just a fairy tale. I had not expected you to be listening so intently.
Oh, well, I suppose I was. He suddenly spoke in a joking tone, but did he really intend on it being a joke? It didn't sound that way to me.
Now then, you've been bearing with me during this long talk, so I have to thank you in some way.
Oh, no. I should be the one thanking you.
There. No need to be modest. I know. Try going out to the town square tonight.
To the square? Is there something there?
It'll be a surprise. Maybe you might find what you're looking for.
I continued to wait, but the old man didn't seem to want to talk anymore. His story really bothered me, but there was no point in staying there. I thanked the old man and left the tavern. Now is the time of the choice. That night, I followed what the old man said and went to the town square as the fog started to thicken. He said I might find what I'm looking for. I didn't completely believe him. But right now, I need a clue. Wonder why Hugh had the Kaleidovia on him, and how long he'd had it on him. I arrived at the town square but found nothing. Naturally, no one would be walking around at this hour. For a while, I stood alone in the square. How much time had passed? An hour? Or longer? Because of the fog, the buildings surrounding the square became hidden. I didn't completely believe him, but... It seemed I was being toyed with by the old guy. I was a little disappointed because of the anticipation leading up to it. I should work hard again tomorrow. I shouldn't be grasping at straws. I should find something more substantial. Right when I started to go back to the tower...
Who killed the Grey? It was I, said the beast.
I heard a song.
With my claws, my arrow feathers, and the bonfire, I killed the Grey.
Huh? A hand pierced through the fog right at me. I was so surprised that I couldn't say anything. The hand brushed across my face and stopped on my shoulder. His fingers were thin, but they were still strong. On the back of the hand was the Clematis birthmark. Is it the old man? No, it's not. It wasn't the hand of an old man. It was much younger. It was similar to Ashen Hawk's hand. A cold and transient hand that didn't appear alive. Interesting. Is Hugh a ghost?
You won't say anything?
I didn't stay quiet on purpose, but the owner of the hand asked me before I could speak.
If this was some cheap play, the curtain would fall upon your scream.
Who are you? The voice I heard was unfamiliar, but its lilting tone reminded me of Ashen Hawk. I finally realized how to deal with it. I wouldn't let him talk as he pleased.
You don't seem surprised. Oh, but your voice is slightly shaky.
I asked who you are.
Yes, I want to see your face too. Come closer.
His hand grabbed me and pulled me closer. And just like that. Not that we can really see each other that much better like this, but hey. The wall of fog between us becomes thinner, and an unfamiliar man's face appeared. Who are you?
Is that all you can ask?
He snickered, making me feel a little embarrassed. It was true that it was all I'd said so far, but I hadn't heard his answer yet.
Then let me tell you just my name, so that you won't be confused about what to call me. I'm Hugh. Nice to meet you.
Hugh.
You don't have to introduce yourself. I know who you are. And because I know, I'm here to deliver this to you.
Huh? Are you really not going to comment on the fact that you've talked to this guy twice as your heir self and he gave you a completely different name? I mean, I would maybe give you a slight pass if you had only seen him in, like, the second outfit that was, like, a pale cream yellow. But he's worn the blue before and was like, I'm Ash! And you're just like, oh, you're Hugh. Okay, cool. Jed, please. He pushed something wrapped in cloth toward me. At the same time, he let go of my shoulder and vanished into the fog. Wait! What is this?
We'll meet again, Jed. In the not-so-distant future.
Hugh's presence vanished. He probably was far away. I got the feeling that I wouldn't be able to find him. He called me by name. And he said he knew me. From when? Where? And what was in this? I picked at the edge of the cloth with my fingers, and it unraveled to reveal what was inside. An egg-shaped sculpture. Is this the Kaleidovia? Yep. I'm just gonna read a bit more, because I can't remember if she has any other thoughts about Hugh, or if it's all just like Kaleidovia and Ashen Hawk. If the fog got any thicker, I wouldn't be able to get back. I needed to focus. With my mind still racing, I ran back to the tower. There were too many thoughts swirling. My head was a mess. Everything was happening so fast. Did that old man know this was going to happen? Okay, I'm glad I kept reading. Who was this man named Hugh? Didn't he say his name was Ash? And this package that came into my possession all of a sudden. I had held it tightly all the way back. I placed it on the table and unwrapped it once more. This is the Kaleidovia. I'd never seen it before, and yet I knew what it was. I knew for sure the moment I saw it. The sculpture was slightly too large to hold in one hand. It had some scratches on it, but the brasswork was intricate and glowing. There were about 4 spots that looked like they used to have some stones embedded in them, but they were empty now. It's pretty. Lauren said that it was worthless, but I didn't believe that. It must have value, at least as a work of art. But even more so? Okay. Now she's gonna get all dragged in and things, so I'm probably gonna skip ahead from here, guys. I don't know when Hugh shows himself again, but he'll pop up, and I'll bring you in when he does. Okay, we've made it past the masquerade now, and we've got some Haku action happening, so thought I'd bring you back in for that. I have Haku's interaction with Lugus and Olgar.
I'm back. Are you there, Haku?
Ah, young master. You're back so soon. You'll have to excuse me.
I told you to stop calling me that.
My apologies, Master Lucas.
Weren't you with Father?
Yes, I was on an errand for the master.
What? Is something on my face?
Not a thing. But you are making quite the kind expression. Did something good happen?
It certainly is a rare occurrence for you to be so talkative toward me.
I may have been affected by the glee of the festival. I must go and report something to the master now, if you'll excuse me. Excuse me, I'm back.
How was it?
It would take some time for it to be taken out properly.
I see.
You don't look well.
I detest this snow in this town, along with the light of the masquerade. But why? What's so funny?
Excuse me. Master, you seem to have forgotten, so I couldn't help it. Now if you'll excuse me.
Forgotten.
There it is. And the memories are back.
I see. Why did I? Why would I forget? How could I forget?
Here we go again. Alright, our girl's about to have a dance with her ghost master, so I'll let her do that. And we'll see when Hugh shows up again. Okay, it's been a couple chapters. Francisca's dead once again, the manor's burnt down, and now we're fighting Lucas in the snowdrop field, so you all know what comes next. So yeah, here we go. I frantically tried to get back up, but his sword was already inches away from my nose. Gah!
This is the end. Submit to me, and I'll spare your life.
Lucas! I glared at him with all of the anger and hatred I felt. He maintained his steadfast expression as if pitying me for being helpless.
Ugh!
What just happened? The sword pointed at me suddenly vanished. In its place, I saw the backside of the person I was chasing after earlier. And what a great backside it is. Looking good.
It's rather shameful to turn your sword on a woman, I must say.
Hugh! I couldn't see his face, but I was sure it was him. His unworldly platinum hair and jet black clothes. You think they would stand out in a person's mind and you remember they gave you a fake name, but not in this instance.
What are you...
Do you want to continue? It'll be 2 against 1, though. Are you hesitating?
Gah!
Lucas managed to block Hugh's quick strikes, but I could tell from Hugh's movements that he was an able fighter.
Now what are you going to do?
Lucas must have seen that he was at a disadvantage. He looked at my face and then quietly left. Thank you. After seeing Lucas disappear, my whole body suddenly felt weak. That was too close. If Lucas really wanted to. If Hugh hadn't come, I would be dead.
That was really close.
Thank you. You saved me. He held out his hand and I took it. I put some strength into my wobbly knees and forced myself to stand. The mysterious man in front of me flashed a bewitching smile. Why was he here? And why did he help me? And he called me a woman. Just who was this man? Who are you?
You've been asking me that since the last time we met.
You haven't given me an answer yet.
Well, if I were to be blunt, I'd say I'm a traveler.
A traveler?
If I had to add another word to it, I'd say I was a mysterious traveler. Just think of me that way.
He had no intention of answering seriously. No traveler would come to this town. Not a single person has come or gone in years. What are you after?
You finally asked a different question, but that's too vague for me to answer.
You took the Kaleidovia and then gave it back to me.
You have it now, don't you?
Yes.
That's why. You having the Kaleidovia is more convenient for me. For my objective, that is.
And what is that?
Ah, the Kaleidovia has a deep relationship with the red eyes.
I covered my eye with my right hand. It wasn't hot right now. My eyes shouldn't have turned red. What was he? He knew that I was a woman, and he knew about the eye, too. I don't get it.
Me? Or what I'm saying?
Both. Are you trying to use me?
Use? Perhaps. You could say that. Except...
His hand reached over and gently caressed my cheek. I continued glaring at Hugh as I let him do it.
I'm more interested in the story rather than the ending. I want to know what choices you make, and the internal strife you have while trying to make it.
Do you only know how to talk in a needlessly ambiguous way?
Sorry. In short, I like you. Ever since we met at the tavern, that is.
The tavern? We never met at the tavern.
Ah!
Someone was yelling, and then I heard running through the grass. Maybe because Hugh is so mysterious he can overwrite her memories or something. And she's like, the tavern? What? Levi? And Levon, why are you here?
That's what I want to know. You were late, so I went to go look for you. And here you are.
Who's that? Why are you two making out?
Huh? I just realized that after he pointed it out, Hugh was practically hugging me. Yeah, as the conversation was going, he's just getting closer and closer and closer. And shock. I quickly pushed him aside. No! You have it all wrong!
Yes, you do. Besides, we're not both guys.
Huh? The hell are you? Oh.
Hey, Judd!
Hugh! What are you?
No point in hiding it. Especially if they've seen that.
That? Hugh pointed at my chest. Levon and Levi both looked as well. I slowly glanced downward. Ah! My shirt had been cut sideways, exposing my chest. When did this happen? It must have been when I dodged Lucas's sword. It hurt for me to admit it, but I wasn't well endowed at all. But even so, the anatomy of my chest was different from that of a man's. If they saw it, they'd instantly...
At least try to hide it.
Yeah, but...
Use this.
Thanks. Levon practically tore off his coat to give to me. I got the feeling he was trying to change the subject. Levi was still frozen up. It made sense. If anyone saw this, they'd react the same way.
Did you do this?
Levon turned to Hugh with a threatening look. Hugh didn't deny or agree. He just smiled as if he was enjoying the situation. No! Hugh helped me.
Helped you?
I don't get what's going on.
Anyway, he saved my life. My voice was weak. I felt so pitiful. I was so riled up to defeat the Hawks, but the way I looked at the moment...
I see. Then let me thank you for saving her.
You're welcome.
But I'd like for you to leave without further discussion.
Yes. I have no intention of sticking around either. Now then.
Hugh came up to me. For some reason, I flinched. I covered my chest with Lavon's coat. I couldn't believe I was doing such feminine gestures in the first place. Ignoring my nervous movements, Hugh put his mouth to my ear.
I'll come see you again.
And there's our first smooch. He lightly kissed my cheek before leaving.